I promised myself I would stay away from Fantasyland, but I just can't get off the junk. It's the sometimes vlog, yeah! It's a vlog that happens sometimes. Welcome back, everybody, to Disneyland Paris's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous and wonderful Fantasyland. There's something I want to show you. I thought I was going to stay away, but I have to do an extra bonus little short vlog. Look at this, everyone. Auberge de Cendrillon. Cinderella's carriage, garage? I don't know what an auberge is, but I do know that right here under this archway is something magical. This is a Cinderella themed restaurant, and here in the courtyard, well, you know what? Just take a look. You know how I'm always saying that Disneyland Paris is the most beautiful of Disney parks? Look at this whole area here. Look at how beautiful and well-themed and detailed this is. I have been meaning to show this to you on 2 separate trips here, and I'm not sure if I did actually show this to you or not before, but usually this entire courtyard is filled with people getting fun pics of themselves and taking pictures in front of Cinderella's carriage. And for the moment I saw that was pretty much empty. Not so much right now in a second, but I saw that was empty enough to come and show you this. Look at that carriage. What a cool detail. By the way, this is all blasting kinds of things from fireworks down there, which is pretty crazy. That just shows you that we're in extra magic hours on the park. Hasn't really completely opened yet. This is just a little extra bonus vlog I thought I would do. Look at this. Here we go. The carriage of Cinderella. So Carrosse de Cendrillon. So that's maybe, so I don't know what an auberge is. Maybe it's the garage. It's the garage of Cinderella, and there's her car right there. The carriage, the carrosse, or the carrosse. I still can't pronounce anything in French. Just look around at this. Now I have been in, I think, multiple places where kings of France have been now on this trip to Paris, and you know, of course, the Louvre and different things like that. And I have seen different things on the Champs-Élysées and gone around in Paris, France, and seen some of the great art treasures and things. But actually, this is the closest thing to a French castle and a French chateau that I have been in so far. This really makes me feel like this part of Fantasyland makes me feel more like I'm in France, or more like I'm in some sort of like fantasy fairy kingdom, than anything I've seen in actual France so far, although I hope to travel a little more widely in Europe at some point. I would really desperately like to go across the UK and see some castles in Wales and Scotland and England, and I would really like to see more of France next time, like Provence and the rest of the places. I do not think that that is a themed sound. I think somebody's working on the roof up there, cleaning something out, just so you know. That scared me though. I was like, what the heck is that? But look at this well here. Cinderella's got this well and water fountain. I don't know if this was always a fountain, but at the moment it's full of plants and even has a sprinkler, so I'm assuming there's water pipes in it. Look at that. You hear this? The best laid plans of mice and men often go awry, because you can hear that sound up there, something I wasn't expecting. Look at this though. Look at the level of detail to be found just in this little fountain in the courtyard of a restaurant here. You can see all of Cinderella's look at oh my gosh, are you okay? Oh, you're okay. Oh, you're okay. You're okay. You're gonna be fine. You're okay. Okay. You can see all these little Cinderella's birds and mice friends, and I'm crawling around the ground. And then here we have Le Cat. I don't know how to say cat in French. La Kitty. Neko, no, that's Japanese. Gato, no, that's Spanish. I don't know. We have Le Pussycat, no, Le Pussycat. You know what you won't find anywhere in France? I have found not one single reference to Pepe Le Pew. Not a Disney thing, but that's okay. Look at how beautiful, guys. Come on. All right, Justin, calm down. Let me calm down and show you the beauty of this wonderful well. No bucket on this one, but always buckets on everything else. Look at all this French words and French things. Look at this beautiful little garden area, and here you have actual grapevines. So I'm assuming that in the summer, or later in the spring, you would actually have real grapevines growing here as you sit at your table and eat your food and pretend that you are in marvelous, marvelous France, because you are in marvelous, marvelous France. That's the crazy part about seeing something like this, is you actually are in the country where people lived in this kind of style. There were princesses and princes and stuff getting married and becoming kings and doing wonderful things. And you know what's weird though? Some of them weren't so great. In the Disney movies, the princesses and the princes, they're always super cool, but sometimes in real life they were kind of awful, actually. Pretty terrible. Look at this. Look at all these little details, these little nooks and crannies and little doorways to go backstage. And every once in a while you see Cinderella's mice, like costume characters, popping out of this door and walking around. There, of course, is the wishing well. We were down there the other day and wandering around underneath this castle. But I saved this courtyard, at least I think I saved this courtyard, to show you on a separate vlog, just as one example of how detailed and beautiful this is. If this right here was at Disneyland in California, this would be photographed every day by hundreds and hundreds of what my friend Robbie calls the tripod squad, which is this whole gang of photographers every night and every day coming with their tripods and being Disneyland photographers. And every Disney vlogger and Disney blogger and Disney person would be obsessed over this garden and have a name for it and all this different stuff. And here it's just one more little section, ignored. And I actually have come back here with people who are frequent annual pass holders and visitors of Disneyland Paris and popped into this gate and they're like, I've never seen this before. It's because everybody just cruises on by on the outside and nobody notices this beautiful Cinderella's garage. What the heck is happening? I think they're leaf blowing the roof. That's probably why all the fireworks have come to the ground. They haven't cleaned them up yet. It's very different from Disneyland in that sense. Like in extra magic hours in the morning, you're actually coming in before the park opens. Yeah. But at Disney World or Disneyland, when you come in before the park opens, they already have it cleaned up from a night shift. Here, they don't have a night shift, not as much. At least not in the winter time when I'm here. They do all their cleaning and construction and even some of the plant snipping and all that stuff. We see that happening during the day here, which is very, very unusual. Of course, they have a lot of refurbishments coming up, not just because their 25th anniversary is coming up, but also because spring is on the way, bigger crowds are on the way, and in winter here, we're just lucky that the place is open and not covered with snow like it was the first day I came here. Look at this. Here you have Cinderella's wooden shoes on the wall here. So if you want to touch Cinderella's wooden shoes, come to Disneyland Paris. Come to Disneyland Paris. Come to Disneyland Paris and tell them I sent you. Tell them that Justin sent you to Disneyland Paris because it's got the most beautiful fantasy land that I have ever seen. Now, of course, Disneyland has a history. So Disneyland for the history and Walt Disney World for the experience. But honestly, Disneyland Paris for the wonder. It's just, it brings all the wonder back, especially for me, someone who's accustomed to Disney parks. I mean, as much as anybody can be. This really brings back that sense of wonder that I had as a kid walking around Fantasyland at home. Just that sense that I'm really in the environment, that I'm in another place. And it's funny that it takes coming to a foreign country to a thing that I have at home for me to like kind of go back into that mode where I know this door, that probably shouldn't be open, but let's pretend we don't see that door there. Just to get back in that mode where I'm like, wow, this is crazy. You know, I was talking a lot before I came about how, not that I'm burnt out, but that I've been doing a lot of vlogs and stuff at Disney parks for the last year, especially because the good people on my Patreon page, patreon.com/JustinScar, send me on different trips, different places, and they all like to see where I'm going, and they like to see different Disney stuff. But I've been talking about the need that I'm like, you know, I never meant to become a Disney vlogger. That's not what I am. I'm not a Disney vlogger. I do not ask anybody to send me to Disney things specifically and all that kind of stuff. I just do I do the vlogs of what I happen to be doing. And it just so happens that I really love Disney parks and that I'm constantly in Disney. Just look at that. In Disney parks. I've been talking about how, okay, I've pretty much done 3 straight years of constantly being in Disney parks and I need to do some other things. And it's funny because I was getting to the point where I was like, yeah. All right, I've been in a lot of Disney parks this year. I'm ready to go and travel around and do some different stuff. And it's funny that right at the end of that, I was like, but before I do that, I'd like to go back to Paris and film some more things and see some more things at Disneyland Paris as well before I hit the road across America on a road trip that I'm planning. Or, well, I'm planning on planning very soon. But then I come back to Disneyland Paris and I'm honestly like fallen in love so hard all over again with Fantasyland here that I honestly just don't want to leave. It's so weird. I've been here for 2 weeks. I'm getting lonely. I'm getting tired of hearing the French language, to be honest with you. Not because it's a bad language. Don't get me wrong, Frenchers. I love you too. It's just that, you know, it's nice to be able to hear your own language around. Look at how beautiful that is. Just listen. Is this not one of the most magical moments we've ever shared together, guys? I mean, it's beautiful. Fantasyland at home kind of falls by the wayside for me. Adventureland is a big deal for me there. Tomorrowland, of course, has got the exciting e-ticket attractions. You get the Matterhorn and stuff. And then at Walt Disney World, I'm really more of an Epcot guy. When I go to Disney World, I want to be in the World Showcase and walking around Epcot. But here at Disneyland Paris, I think for the first time in my life, I have really, truly fallen in love with Fantasyland. I almost don't want to leave it. I could have filmed 1,500 vlogs here. I want to come back and film every little detail just so that I have an excuse to be here. That's how much I really, 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 really cannot overemphasize. I've just fallen in love with this. So if you're a fan of Fantasyland, if you're a fan of Disney movies, the old classic Disney movies, I highly recommend that. It may take you a while to save up. It may take you a while to save up the money because it's expensive to come over here and all that stuff. It's far for us Americans, you know, or whatever. But I promise you, it's super worth it. If you love the theming, if you love details, we have way more rides in Magic Kingdom and Disneyland. If you want rides, go to your county fair or go to a Disney park in the United States. You want to try and pack in as many Disney rides as you can. But if you really care about the environment, the theming, the imagination, if imagination is important to you at all, you might want to consider coming to Disneyland Paris. And for those of you who might never get the opportunity, I am very, very grateful. I am not mincing words here. I cannot overstate this enough. I am very, very grateful for each and every single one of you who came along with me and let me be your guide and show you a few things here. That's what I do this for. I like to share my life. I have a weird life anyways, and then I started sharing it, and now people appreciate my weird life and like to send me around because you guys like to share it. And as my friend Adam the Woo would say, who got me in this and all in the first place, there's a whole vicarious, he always says the most weirdest things. He takes real words and uses them the correct way, but then turns them into his own phrases. This vicarious circle of goodness, he would call it, where you're kind of like coming along for the ride and we can all be internet buddies and hang out and see cool things and have cool adventures together. So it's been very, very cool. It's been my very greatest pleasure and my very greatest honor doing this stuff with you guys, having these adventures with you guys, and hearing from you on Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat. Periscope is pretty much falling by the wayside, but I am starting to use my Facebook page more, facebook.com/JustinScarred, and I read a lot more comments over there than I used to on anything else because it was a long story. But there you go, Cinderella's garage. Since I don't know, and I know 15 people are gonna be like, Auberge's carriage house, or Auberge's restaurant, or Auberge is her makeup room, or whatever, or it's her golden wheel, or I don't know. I don't care what it is. All I know is look at how gorgeous and beautiful. Ignore the fireworks stuff for now. They clean that up before the park actually opens, but we get this cool sneak peek, a pre-opening peek, a pop. We're getting a pop. We're getting a pop at it. We're getting a pre-opening peek. We're getting a pop. A pre-opening peek pop. Neat. All right, some of my old energy and enthusiasm is coming back, but I got a lot of stuff to do. I hope you enjoyed this extra bonus vlog from Disneyland Paris. I'm trying to pack in as many little looks at things as I can. I don't want to leave, you guys. Like, you look at me procrastinating. I don't even want to go get my other camera and start doing the things that I want to do. I just want to be here forever. Fantasyland at Disneyland Paris. My favorite Fantasyland. Disneyland for the nostalgia, Disney World for the experience, but Disneyland Paris for the sheer wonder of it all. Isn't this amazing? I feel like a kid again, and I don't hate it. All right, subscribe, livefast.portoutspreadshirt.com, and all that other good stuff down below in the description. Hopefully, if I remember. I will see you guys a little later. Farewell.